Is this finally the year that the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis get themselves into the NBA Finals and win an NBA title? This is something the Bucks have been trying to bet on for the last couple of seasons with Giannis, and something they especially tried to do this summer when they made the trade for Jrue Holiday, getting rid of Eric Bledsoe, 3 future first-round picks and multiple pick swaps. They went all in to try and win a title this year, along with trying to convince Giannis to resign, like they did, and have him locked up for the next 5 years. And so the future is bright, but there is a bit of an urgency for the Bucks to finally get to the finals. It's something they've been unable to do, specifically the last 2 years. That has been the goal. They, of course, last year got ousted by Miami, who eventually ended up going to the NBA Finals. And then the year before that, they met the wall of Kawhi, Ibaka, and Gasol and the Toronto Raptors, who eventually went on to win the title. So they've lost to some good teams, but teams that still, you would argue, the Bucks should be given a better challenge to, or being able to beat in a 7-game series, and that's just not something the Bucks have been able to do yet. But today I'm going to be talking about their odds of doing that this season and how good I think their odds are of getting through the East and winning an NBA title. Like and subscribe if you guys are new and want more NBA content like this. I will be continuing to do some more prediction videos considering playoffs and pretender or contender videos like this one for the Bucks and my thoughts as the NBA playoffs unravel. So let's get right into it. As part of this NBA Contender or Pretender series, we're just going to look first at, are the Bucks contenders? And of course they are. We know they're contenders. They have to be considered a contender. If you don't consider them a contender, frankly, I have questions. I would love to hear down below why you don't think they're a contender, but I just don't see that viewpoint of it. But like I said, if you have that viewpoint, I'd be interested in knowing why. But that being said, there's 3 things I consider as a contender for me. You have to have star power that can get you buckets, you have to have a good offense and defense, and you need to have good depth and versatility. And so first off, the star power that can get you a bucket. Well, Giannis is the star of Milwaukee, but he's not the typical star from a perimeter wing player because he can't get you that perimeter shot, that knockdown shot. But he can get you buckets at the rim and draw you fouls, and of course he's very good at that. And so he can get you buckets in that way, but they also have 2 good shot creators in Khris Middleton and the addition of Jrue Holiday this season even more so. And so I think that allows them to be considered a team that has multiple options that can get you a bucket at the end of the game in clutch moments, and I think that is very important. As far as their offensive and defensive quality goes, they are very much a very strong 2-way team. They are 6th in offensive efficiency on the season and 10th in defensive efficiency, which I believe is lower than their defense last year, but I'd argue their defense is better this year. They've added a superior defender to Eric Bledsoe and Jrue Holiday, who can defend various positions, some of the best players in the league, and is an all-defensive player in the past and potentially again this year for a reason. And they've changed their defensive scheme, something that Budenholzer has been hesitant to do in the past, but he's changed the system to be a lot less help conscious. They still really do help a lot and clog the paint with Brook Lopez sitting deep in the paint and Giannis being the help man, but they don't help as much with their guards and their wings outside of Giannis, which has allowed them to be a better team defending the 3-point shot this year, which is really important because they have been one of the worst 3-point shot defending teams in the past couple of years. That's just been on purpose to their defensive scheme, and that's one of the reasons why they were able to not get through Miami and Toronto the last couple of years, is because these were good 3-point shooting teams that, with the combination of good defense against Giannis, they were able to shut out. They were just able to score against this poor Milwaukee Bucks system on defense. So that is an improvement from Milwaukee this year as well. And I believe on them in both ends, even more so this year than I did in the past because of that. Largely because of the addition of Jrue Holiday and also due to some scheme changes. Now, as far as the depth and versatility goes of this Milwaukee Bucks roster, it's not as deep as in previous years because the Jrue Holiday and PJ Tucker trade didn't get rid of a lot of depth. However, I do think their depth is a lot more quality and a lot more experience at this point in time. Of course, the starting lineup is going to be Jrue Holiday, who gives you a lot of versatility on defense. You can play the 2 or the 1 on offense. DiVincenzo, kind of mainly just the 2. Not really much of a combo of anything. Khris Middleton can float up and down the lineup. Giannis can float up and down the lineup. He can play some small ball 5. They can go big, and he can play 3, although it's not really something they've done this season. Then, of course, Brook Lopez is their center. But off the bench, you're looking at Jet T, who's a quality, good backup point guard with experience. Now, he definitely hasn't been anywhere near the same level this season that he's been in the previous seasons, and there's a reason why Boston didn't want to keep him. But nonetheless, he is there to provide some experience for them. They also have Bryn Forbes, who's a quality scorer off the bench. They have PJ Tucker, who of course is very versatile, who can move up and down the lineup and defend many positions, and is well known for his good corner threes. And then Bobby Portis, who can play the 5 or the 4 off the bench, who can give you some good minutes of rebounding and scoring. And so it's really a 4-man bench because Jeff Teague doesn't play a ton. He's just not at that caliber anymore, but there's some good quality there in Bryn Forbes, in PJ Tucker, in Pat Connaughton, and Bobby Portis. And so I like their versatility. They have a few guys who can definitely play up and down in Middleton and Giannis, in PJ Tucker and Jrue Holiday. So I like this part of the roster. The question that we have to ask is, can they get past the 76ers and the Nets? That's essentially what it comes down to. It's going to be tight. I don't know if I have a favorite out of any of these 3 teams. The Nets, of course, talent-wise on paper are the best roster, but there's some chemistry issues, there's some health issues, and those concerns have to be taken into consideration. And as far as 76ers go, their shot making from the perimeter is a concern, because that's going to be falling on Tobias Harris more often than not if they need a shot from the perimeter. And Embiid, of course, is going to get his own buckets from time to time as well, but Tobias Harris is going to have to be that guy come playoff time, because Lord knows Ben Simmons isn't, and Seth Curry's a great shooter, but not really off the dribble creating his own shot. And that is a concern of mine for the 76ers. The Bucks having the 3 seed does make it tough for them, because they're going to have to play 2 of the 76ers and Nets, most likely. They're probably going to have to play and beat both of them. But I mean, if you're going to win a title, you got to beat the best teams anyways. And so, as far as the Bucks are concerned, I think their toughest matchup, again, is going to be the Nets. 76ers will be tough too. The Miami Heat are going to be tough in the first round too. I don't think they're going to have an easy series any time during the playoffs. They play Miami, they're then probably going to have to play the Brooklyn Nets, and then if they get to the Nets, they have to play the 76ers. I don't think the Bucks can beat all 3. I like the Bucks roster a lot more this year. I feel more confident in their ability to go deep with Miami and potentially beat them, to go deep with the Nets and potentially beat them, to go deep with the Sixers and potentially beat them. But there's potential just wearing down, there's injuries, there's just general fatigue that has to play in when you play that many strong, hard-working teams. Well, maybe not as much hard-working defense on the Nets, but especially the grind you're going to have to play against Miami. That's going to go 6 or 7, and you're going to have to play the Nets, and it's going to be a tough run. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Bucks make the finals, but I think they're probably 3rd on my list of teams that needs to come out. They're definitely a contender. They're definitely not a pretender. They are a legit NBA title contender. But I don't have them going to the NBA Finals in this season, at least. Next season's another story. But for now, I think the Bucks end up losing in the second round. Or if not, if they do get past the Nets, I think the Sixers are going to be too much for them. I think they have a lot better odds to get past Miami this year. I think they're better built for that. And I can see them winning that series, but I don't think they make the finals. Let me know your thoughts down below on the Milwaukee Bucks playoff chances and if they will win the title this season. But that is my thoughts. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Like and subscribe to the channel if you do want more NBA content like this as we get into the playoffs. I will see you guys in the next one.